Welcome back to From the Source podcast. This is episode 45, and today we're going to be talking about ice baths, the benefit, the cons, the pros, and we're going to be going through kind of our experience of ice baths, if any. So, ice baths really have been made, I think, for recovery, but a lot of people are using them now for like a little trendy, Instagrammy vibe, like to make some content. Have you seen that on Instagram? Like
all the time.
Especially like what's it called? That brand of ice baths,
Lumi, yeah.
Lumi are like really onto using ice baths more for Instagram than actual what they were made for. So let's jump into have you done an ice bath?
I've used an ice bath, yeah. I've got one myself, but I keep putting it off.
Have you got a Lumi?
Yeah.
See.
I got a Lumi because their advertisement was everywhere, and you Google ice baths to get, and that's the first one. They're always cheap deals. So
I got a family member a Lumi as well for to help with his arthritis. My stepdad, he's got like really sore knees, so I got him a Lumi to say like, get in this, and if you do it properly, it'll really help. But again, he's not even got it out of the box because it's just been like so cold.
But that's the point of them. You want to be doing it. It's easier to do them in the winter because it freezes up more.
Yeah,
but
people do them. So like I've seen people on like social media and stuff doing ice baths with like a Lumi pod or something like that. But they're not actually doing an ice bath. They just filled it with like tap water, which tap water isn't ice cold. You know what I mean? You wash your hands in tap water. It's not cold, but obviously it's a little bit cold if you get in it outside, but it's not an ice bath. You need like you either need to fill it up and leave it outside in weather like today, like 0 degrees or 2 degrees. And then it can like become really cold, or put ice cubes, like a big, massive, like full of ice cubes. And then it's an ice bath.
Yeah. People do it with like plastic sandwich boxes or whatever.
Yeah,
they fill it full of ice water, and then you just lob them in.
Yeah, that's a good shout. That actually,
it's always because you'll end up spending a fortune on ice unless you've got like an ice machine in your house and stuff. But most people don't. So that's like one little tip.
Yeah, that's good.
Just like ice.
So fill a sandwich, like a plastic container.
Yeah, or you get those. Like your mum used the blue things. Your mum used to put in like your sandwich box or in like
you get your
camping. Yeah. But you could throw them in as well, but you've got to like pre-plan it before you want to go in, because you can't just like buy the Lumi, it arrives, fill it full of water, and then just get in.
Yeah, that's what people do,
because it's just like a dirty bath outside.
And you can tell, like I see people doing it on social media, and like they get in it and like, oh god, it's cold, and then they're just sat in it, and I'm like, no, if that was a proper ice bath, you wouldn't be doing that. You're like, it's actually painful.
Yeah, you can't. You're trying to
catch
your
breathe.
Breath. Yeah. There's a few people like not like follow, but they always come up on your TikTok on my Instagram of like people that have done it for like 500 days straight, and they're like in like.
There's a guy that does it, and he says a quote every day in the
American guy.
Yeah,
it's like it's got like a field behind him. Yeah.
It's literally, I don't know where he lives. It's like Alaska or something.
Yeah, it's freezing.
Yeah, and he like has to use a pickaxe to like smash the ice.
Uses like a dumbbell sometimes as well.
Yeah,
but the top of the ice is like honestly like
it's
4 inches
ice,
thick,
isn't it?
And smashes it every day, and he gets in.
That's a proper ice bath, that.
Yeah, but he gets in now, and it's just like he's getting in warm water.
Yeah, he's just obviously got used to it's probably still just as hard as the first time, but he's got used to the mental like, right, I'm gonna put up with this for 2 minutes.
Yeah, because you gotta psych yourself up.
I think I want to get a Lumi to do it properly, but I was just trying to work out how I'd actually make it an ice bath, not just like a lukewarm water bath.
I mean, you'd be all right now.
Be all right now outside
because you just
bolt it.
You just leave the top off at night, and it'll freeze over.
Yeah,
and you'll be fine. It's just harder in summer, like to do it.
Yeah, it's harder effort because you've got to actually put a lot of ice in to be any benefit.
Because I'd want to do it like, say we went for a run. You want to run, be nice and warm, and then just get in the ice bath as like instant recovery. But you'd have to like put all your ice blocks in before you run, even hours before that, to make it cold.
So So the question is then, why do we need an ice bath, or why do people have them? Why have people bought them? Obviously, we all know it's like full recovery, but what's actually happening? Do we know?
You're talking about the science now, Jesus. Well, I mean, it's down to literally the ice. It's helping with like the recovery of the
Yeah,
muscles
we know cold therapy
and the inflammation and everything.
Yeah,
That it was originally used for. I mean, it's been around for years. With like rugby teams used to do it in like bins and stuff after
Yeah.
matches.
it's do you remember? Did you do PE like for GCSE or anything like
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
The rice thing where it's
yeah,
like,
yeah. Rest ice.
yeah, if you get
compression.
injured, it would be rest ice, and it's like the second most important thing you should have done is like cold therapy. And then I think over the last like probably people have been doing it for like hundreds of years in like cold lakes and stuff. But
Yeah,
over the recent times, it's been like, right, ice baths are actually really beneficial. I don't know what it's doing, but it reduces your muscle soreness. It just
yeah. Inflammation.
inflammation as well. You
Yeah.
don't even need to have done a workout if you've suffered from like, like I said, sore knees or stuff. You can reduce your inflammation. I think it also helps for like regulation for temperature. Like if you are someone who gets like hot flushes or maybe like your heart rates and stuff, it going really high, it can start to like over time regulate your body.
Yeah, helps with that cold exposure in terms of because we're very reliant on nowadays in like you like wearing a hoodie and a gilet and everything.
Yeah,
It's like 2 degrees today, but that's what you want to do.
Yeah,
Whereas if you've already exposed yourself to like the cold water, you don't feel it as much,
yeah,
which is for like blood regulation. So the hot and cold and helps with blood flow.
yeah, and it's your circulation as well. So like the way that your heart pumps blood around your body, I think it helps with that kind of like efficiency, or you keeping your heart strong and healthy. Because I'm pretty sure when you get into an ice bath, you're not your veins, but it's called like vasoconstriction. I went to like a Wim Hof course once.
Not your capillaries.
Yeah, something like that, and they constrict and then they release.
Yeah.
And basically, you want that to happen so that it becomes like stronger and more efficient. But yeah, I went to like a Wim Hof.
You want what to happen?
Your little crab fingers.
Yeah. Your little fingers inside your veins.
Because talking about ice baths, I'm like, yeah, under the city. But I went to a Wim Hof experience day that Beth, my partner, got me for my birthday, and we went together, and that was like a really good insight into ice baths. But I wish I'd have maybe gone on like another one, or just like actually did it after that experience, because I did it once. It was proper ice, like it was a bathtub full of ice, like no water, pretty much just ice. And then you learn how to like breathe, you learn what actually happens. But because I've not, obviously it was years ago, because I've not done it since, I forgot it all.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking, this is actually so amazing, I'm going to start doing it. And then, like everything, you fall off the bandwagon and just forget about it.
Yeah.
But I know how important it is.
It feels good after you get out.
Oh, mate, it feels good for
quality.
days.
Yeah.
If you've done a proper one, like, you feel good for the rest of the day. You sleep amazing. The next day you wake up, you've still got like all this. I think obviously when you get in the ice, your cortisol, like stress, goes up. But then when you get out and that's gone down, like you've got all these like serotonin and oxytocin,
all the good hormones, yeah,
that are just flowing through your body. And like the only thing that I get close to that is every day, every morning, I have a cold shower. It's like a 2-minute shower, if that, probably like a minute. And I just get in the shower, turn the cold water on, and then it hits me. And that makes me feel awake, first of all, but good for the rest of the day. Like, yeah, at the time I hate it, but you feel good for the rest of the day. And that's not an ice bath. That's just like really cold water hitting you.
Yeah, ice bath's completely different.
Because you're just submerged in it. The only thing with them Loomies is, though, you've got to like any ice bath though, probably, you've got to like crouch in it. Whereas I'd I want to like sit in a bath.
Yeah, bath one. They do the bath ones.
Yeah.
They're just more expensive.
They do like the silver containers as well,
Yeah.
like the proper tin.
Yeah, they do. I mean, the amount of brands that do ice baths now are ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's a nice one. It's called like Monkey something.
Yeah, there's loads. Hey, actually, that's interesting. I heard on another podcast, I heard that the ice bath industry at the minute, or like last year, was worth 300. Oh, it was like 300,000 like pounds or dollars that year. And then the ice bath industry in the next year, so 2025 now, is predicted to be like 1 point something million. Like, do you know when you say like an industry's worth it? I don't know what it means, but basically, ice bath worth 300,000 at the minute if you've got like an ice bath company, and it's projected to be like $1.6 million in this year because people are getting more into like health and fitness and well-being. More people are running, more people are gymming. So then it's only like on that path that you'd end up getting into recovery and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think on social media it'll always be a trend that people will just try for like reaction. But I think the underlying thing is that more and more people at home will be starting to do the recovery side of things. And
the thing is, it also goes hand in hand with social media. Like, more people use social media now to show off what their lifestyle looks like, almost like a little vlog. And then if you get in an ice bath, it's like, I'm not just getting in the ice bath, like, I'm going to show everyone I'm getting in an ice bath.
Yeah.
No one will believe you. Then you end up sharing it, and then someone watching it probably goes, whoa, where'd you get that from? I want one of them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that just happens, isn't it? The amount of people that I see like do like 1 or 2 ice baths, put it on social media, and then just like, yeah, I'm an ice bath enthusiast.
Yeah.
And
it's also, I was going to say it before where we took you mentioned like about it's really good for the mind and you feel good after it, and it's really good for your mental like resilience to say, like, I didn't want to do this ice bath when I woke up this morning, but now I've done it, I feel amazing because I did it.
Yeah.
But when you do something like that, you want to show everyone like, look what I did. Do you know what I mean? It's like when you run a marathon, like, look at me. Or like you run a long distance, like, look at what I did. You want the recognition in a way, which is still always weird because it's a weird thing that we all look for like this recognition. But doing an ice bath is like, you can do the ice bath without actually telling everyone you've done the ice bath, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but people aren't going to do that, are they?
No, because no one does anything like that anymore. Everything we do is all like, look at what I've done. There's only a few people I know that do crazy stuff. Like, I love it when you go on Strava, and I guess Strava's still a platform that you're showing off on.
Yeah.
But you do it more for you. Like my Strava, I don't care who sees it, it's for me. But I see people do like a marathon and like a trail run, but people I know, and they just won't. I've got them on Instagram and Facebook, they just won't tell anyone. And then they'll go to work and people are like, did you have a good weekend? And they're like, yeah. I didn't do much. Like, you did a marathon on bloody Helvellyn.
Yeah, but it depends what your priorities or what your thought process
that's what
is.
it's about, yeah.
You just can't be arsed telling people about it. Depends who you
also
work with.
Don't care what. Like, I would like to think like I don't care what people think about or know about my life, but then at the same time, I'm very quick to, if I've done something cool, that I think's cool, I'll share it. And then I also catch myself like, I catch myself in the moment of sharing it, being like, do I really care if they know what I did?
Yeah, are you not just proud of what you've done? You just maybe just want to like
proud,
tell
yeah,
people.
But you still, in a way, like, you can be proud, like, personally, but you can also be proud, like, I want everyone else to just like give me something.
Yeah,
it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just that's social media in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's social media, but it's also like telling your family, like, you know, if I did something, say if I got like a promotion, and then I'd be like, go home and like tell my family like, I got a promotion today. You know, like it's good to share, but we overshare nowadays.
Yeah, it's literally your entire life is like, no one's going to know on social media instantly about your promotion, but Strava just puts it. I mean, I just like using Strava because the data that you can, it displays it better on there than it does on like the Garmin app. If the Garmin app was better, probably no one would really see.
Some people love the Garmin app, and I use the Garmin app to upload to Strava, and then I just cut off the Garmin app.
Yeah, because you got to like, you press like lap and you got to turn your phone sideways. And you know, the graphs are like,
it's
they're
weird.
like mental. It's just like one big coloured block.
And like sometimes you just want to find your splits, and like it's like nowhere to be seen.
It's just hard.
The Garmin app should be, because Garmin's essentially like, it's for all sport, but I mean, it was probably made for runners.
Yeah.
Like, it should just be so easy to just go on the Garmin app and be like, show me all my running data.
Yeah, but you can't. You got to click on the calendar, haven't you?
Yeah.
And then you've got to remember which. Well, this is how I do it anyway. You got to remember which day you did the workout, and then click that. And all it says on mine is like, it just says running on the tab and the time, and I'm like, I don't know if that's an interval or not.
Yeah, it's weird.
So yeah, Strava. There'll be an Ice Bath social media app out there or something.
Yeah, there'll be something that's like morning ice bath. You know, Connor spent two minutes in an ice bath today at 0 degrees.
Yeah, but people just put it on. I think the trend of, if you wanted to go big on social media of doing ice baths, I think that trend's gone.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to be
more
the best.
like a quirky. It's more just like, you know, like look at what I'm doing on my story. Like, but it's also cool because obviously when people share stuff about fitness and health, it can get other people into something. So, and ice baths obviously do have a really good benefit. It's just if people are doing them properly, like, you know, it can't be lukewarm water. It can't be tap water that you just filled up and then you're sitting in it. That's not an ice bath.
But that's a shame, because that's the stuff that actually happens, is that there's loads of people that do it right, and then there's just loads of people that just jump on the bandwagon that just like, not like give it a bad name, but just make it feel like, oh, ice baths are just pretty pointless.
Do you know what's funny about Lumi or brands like that is their adverts are always like, there's like a girl in a bikini getting in
yeah,
and they purposefully get the shot of like her like arse, and then you go on the comments, it's like all these guys like, does she come with the ice bath?
That's crazy. Yeah, but there's a lot of that. There's a lot on the social media is just it literally is girls that have got like whatever they write, and then they put like ad at the bottom.
Yeah,
and I look at it and I think, you're just going to be an advert soon, or a Facebook advert or whatever. And it's like, oh, I've just got my new Lumi tub, and they're getting in and you can see they're just like, don't want to do it, or
I swear some of them don't even have water in it.
It's like lukewarm.
Yeah, it's like a warm
fake ice in it.
Yeah,
does my head in.
I think the good things about like ice baths becoming popular is you don't always have to go down the route of like, I'm going to buy one from this company, because ultimately ice baths are just cold water. So getting in like a lake is very, very, you know, if not the same as doing a home ice bath that you've bought from online.
I mean, I've done one at Nicky Nook.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
and I did it. I think it was about 6 a.m. I must have the pictures somewhere on my phone, but like we went, and it was, when was it, like probably November times, and so it was like the lake. There was like fucking ducks swimming and everything. There was like a mist on top of the lake.
See, that's unreal.
And we just got in, and that was like a proper view, and it was quality. Obviously, you're not going to do that every day.
No. If you lived somewhere where you could, that'd be unreal.
And that was cold. No ice in it, but it was.
But you don't need it in that situation, because I bet that water was still like 2 degrees.
Yeah. Oh, it's cold. It was like a take your breath away type. But
and so you don't necessarily need the ice, but if you're in cold water, you know about
The
it.
grass and the ground was frozen.
Yeah.
And it was just nice. Lots like ducks swimming around you and stuff.
And then you can either make your own. You could get like a big freezer tub and just don't plug it in and just fill it with ice and water and then just jump in
Yeah,
that.
people do that. People do like, cow troughs and stuff like that.
Yeah, cow troughs, the big silver things.
Yeah. People just do them. You can literally do whatever you want.
When I've been to people's houses and stuff and I've seen they've got an ice bath outside, there's a few people I know that have got like ice baths. You're one of them as well, aren't you? Like you've got an ice bath out here.
Yeah.
Or you did have the other day.
Yeah.
What you tend to see is, and I feel like this is probably a common thing with maybe like loads of things, is the ice bath, but it's in the corner, but it's all rusty and dirty and horrible. And it was a trend that they had that then died off.
It's just habit. I think you just got to turn it into a habit, like a daily habit.
Yeah.
And you just break. You got to do things 10 or 12 times for it to become a habit.
Yeah.
So just stick at it for 2 weeks.
We talked about this before, I think, about how if you lived somewhere where, like, say you lived in Australia and, like, you know that it's nice weather and you can go outside, you've got a nice big garden with, like, a swimming pool and you've got a little space for your ice tub. Whereas we live in England, like, in the northwest of England, like, it's so, like, rainy and not dirty, but it's just, like, rainy and
it's not,
it rains on the brick and the brick like runs, it's not like what you want.
You're not going to jump in the sea here. Like,
No,
it's not like
the
people I see some people down south that will go in the sea in the morning, which obviously is equally as cold.
I'd love to do that.
But I just like, their beach is like nice pebble beach.
Yeah.
And I just think, fuck, we don't have that.
I'd love to do that. And we live, obviously, like Blackpool. To go to the sea, you've got to walk for like 5 miles. The tide's never in.
No. And when it is in, it's like...
When it is in, you'll die if you go in it. It's like the waves,
Yeah, I saw that at the pier last week.
Yeah, it's rough.
It was like...
it is rough.
Crashing into the sea, and I thought, oh yeah, I'll just go and do my ice bath. Or my sea bath.
And I think all hygiene, the water out where we live is not...
Yeah,
it's not ideal, is it?
Yeah,
I'm sure like they've dumped the sewage like only a mile out, and then obviously it all flows back.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why the water's brown.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. So we probably wouldn't.
It's minging.
But I'd love to. Honestly, I'd love if we lived somewhere that was like. I mean, ideally, if you lived somewhere like Australia or like LA or something like that, you could just like nip down, like have a dick, and then like I don't even know if you can do that in LA, but. If you could just go out and just have a dip and then come back, I'd love that.
That's better than having a plastic tub in your garden.
But people do it in London, and like the beach is not London, but the beach is down south, Cornwall. Like
it's nowhere near London. Just as
I'm like London, the beach at London.
Yeah, and I was like, fuck it, I swear that's
there is a beach near London. I think it's like an hour away. Obviously London's big, but like you go, I don't know what it is, but there is. Someone will say
geography.
Someone's like, you mean the man-made beach?
Yeah. So all them Saudi royals down south. There's a park they've turned into a beach. Yeah.
But no, I'd love to just do that, but obviously you have to do like what you can with what you've got, and if it's getting like one of them Lumi pod things or making your own ice bath. I think it does help, especially when you've done something kind of extreme, a big run, a big training week, maybe you've done like a high rocks and you want to go and dip in the ice bath. It will boost your recovery.
More and more gyms are getting them.
Yeah.
So there's might be a gym near you that has one. But then you just get like kids just jumping in them and dicking about.
Yeah. They are good for. I love like seeing a gym that's kind of got the ice baths, because gyms are obviously go and lift weights, go and train, go and work hard. But then when they also like get involved in the recovery, that's quite cool as well. Because sometimes like your recovery should be as important as your training session. Your recovery should like hurt as much as your training session. So when you get in a proper ice bath, it's painful, but it's worth the pain because you're going to recover. Whereas if you just go gym and go home, that's when you start to get tight, you get cramp, It
is painful getting an ice bath though.
Yeah, innit?
The urge to get out is...
It's a mental torture as well.
Yeah, you're constantly asking people, like, how long got left? And they're just like, you've only been in it 20 seconds.
Yeah. So we should actually go and do an ice bath. And actually, like, because a lot of people probably who listen to this or just have, like, talked about ice baths before, maybe never done it. And if they have done it, they've probably never done a proper ice bath. So we should actually, like, do it and, like, let people know what it was like.
Yeah.
We've both done it before, so it doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but as in...
It's been a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll go and do one.
And we'll try and, like, give people, like, an honest opinion of, is it worth it? Is it something we're going to do? Because obviously Sam's got an ice bath, I've done an ice bath, and I want to get one. Do I think I'd do it every day? No. But do I think I'd do it when I needed to do it? Like, yeah, I would.
I think I would just start and be like, would you do it after every hard training session?
Yeah.
Because you're not going to do a hard training session every day of the week. Maybe like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And then just start from there.
I think that's what it is. And it's
I'm saying it like I should do it myself as well. That's what I should be doing.
But it's like everything. It's like stretching. Like, everyone knows stretching's important, but does everyone do it? No, hardly anyone does it. So the ice bath's like another little thing that probably you would benefit from, but are you going to make it part of your daily routine? Not unless you've got it and you actually stick to it and you make it a habit. So we'll go and give it a go. We'll find somewhere that's got an ice bath and
everyone can have a good laugh.
Yeah, we'll film it. We'll try it. We'll try and, like, also learn about the science behind what's actually happening and why it works. But obviously we touched on it. We don't know. Like,
can I imagine the teacher giving homework?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go away. We'll give you a quiz on the ice baths. Well, no,
give me a quiz, or you?
Well, we'll give the viewers a quiz. So, if you have done an ice bath and you recommend it or you don't recommend it, or you are like an expert and you listen to this and you're like, actually, I know all about ice baths, then let us know in the comments what you have, like, experienced or what you've learned or what you know, because we know, like, limited knowledge on it, but we know it works. Like everything. We don't know why, but we do it.
We got, what is it, practical knowledge of it.
Yeah. That's more important sometimes, is like, anyone can, like, go and research something and then just list off this. Whereas, like, doing it practically and then feeding back is probably more... I'd listen to someone who's done something than someone who's just read about it.
Yeah. It's easy, easy for everyone else to understand.
Yeah.
So we will torture ourselves in an ice bath for you lot.
Yeah. That's what we do. That's our life now.
Yeah.
But thanks for listening, and if you're not yet following or subscribing or sharing the platform, then please do. We're on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, basically everywhere. So from the source, follow us. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you in the next one.
See you on the next one.